Welcome to Whitney Alex Works recap of The Golden Bachelor Season 2, Episode 7, The Fantasy Suites, and Episode 8, The Finale. Let's get started. Instead of the traditional 3 contestants in other seasons, The Golden Bachelor spinoff series has only 2 women left for Fantasy Suites, and Mel is deciding his feelings between Cindy, a 60-year-old retired biomedical engineer, or Peg, a 62-year-old retired firefighter and bomb technician. And the last stop on Mel's journey as the Golden Bachelor is in Antigua, an island located in the Caribbean. We first see Mel when he is talking with host Jesse Palmer about his feelings for his final 2 women and the reality of possibly getting engaged in less than a week. He admits that his decision will be a difficult one as this experience has been hard on Mel. Jesse talks to Mel about what he sees in both Cindy and Peg. Mel then describes his relationship with Cindy as romantic, and then he says that his relationship with Peg is about energy and he appreciates her high energy levels and he feels excited when he is around her. So Mel understands that he has a difficult decision between his final 2 women as he can see a future with both of them. Mel meets up with Peg for the first date of this episode and suddenly he is very open about his feelings for Peg as he explains that he is all in on Peg, which is a very big statement from Mel, but he is saying this in his confessional instead of telling this to Peg. And when Mel meets up with Peg, they drive a buggy around and Mel is once again smitten with her high energy levels as Peg is laughing and smiling while she takes control of the buggy and rides pretty hard. When these 2 sit down to talk, Peg says that she is afraid to open up fully because of her past relationships and marriage and dealing with infidelity, but Mel confirms that he is feeling good about his relationship with Peg, and she agrees that she is feeling good about them too. But Peg is worried about Mel and if he is actually emotionally available. Peg does say yes to a fantasy suite invite and they spend the evening together away from the cameras. And in the morning, both say they are very happy about how the fantasy suite date went, as Mel says that he believes he is very compatible with Peg. So as they enjoy a breakfast together, Peg shares that she and Mel shared stories about their lives and she believes that he is emotionally intelligent, and it seems these 2 are on the same page and are solid in what they share together. But if it was just Peg and Mel left, this season would seem over, but Cindy is still in the running, but it's hard in general as Mel seems to be leaning towards Peg at this point, but Mel does meet up with Cindy and they go on a boat ride to swim with stingrays together. But Cindy has been very open about her feelings for Mel and she admitted that she is falling hard for Mel, so it's hard on her as Mel still isn't really opening up with her about his feelings, but it gets even more telling when Cindy is having a good time swimming with stingrays and Mel seems reserved and standoffish. Mel eventually warms up, but there seems to be something off with how things are progressing. When it's later in the date, Cindy explains her feelings again for Mel, but the conversation becomes pretty tense as Mel isn't forward with his feelings and explains that it would take more time for his feelings to deepen, which isn't good news for Cindy as she questions Mel on the possibility of an engagement that is coming up as it's almost the end of this journey. But Mel claims that he is still undecided, but that's looking more and more suspect as Mel seems like he is leaning towards Peg in actuality. During this conversation, Cindy grows more frustrated knowing that Mel isn't interested in her fully, and that concerns her as she does know that there is a major possibility that Mel could not choose her despite Cindy's strong feelings for him. So it's a pretty tense situation between these 2, and that's where this episode ends on a slight cliffhanger as Cindy is asking Mel if there is a way forward or is this it. But of course the final episode will hopefully reveal Mel's true feelings as Mel will have to make a decision between Peg, the retired firefighter, or Cindy, a retired biomedical engineer. We begin the finale episode with host Jesse Palmer welcoming the audience to the studio format, and right away we turn back to Antigua and we learn that Mel and Cindy's relationship is at a tragic end. Cindy realizes that Mel's non-committal answers to commitment is a sign in itself when it comes to their future. Cindy asks if there is a way forward, but Mel does say that there is, but he doesn't give Cindy any reassurances that there will be an engagement and is talking about how he needs more time to get there. more. But Cindy has had enough and she doesn't want to wait around. She decides to self-eliminate before the night is done. This is shocking as Cindy was a top contender for Mel's heart this entire season, and Cindy says she is extremely disappointed in what just occurred, but she couldn't deal with Mel's indecisiveness and non-committal answers throughout this season, especially when she has been so open about her feelings this entire time. And when the drama of that ending is finished, Jesse Palmer has Cindy in the hot seat in the studio, and she is ready to talk about what happened that fateful night. Cindy admits that she has no regrets from that night because in her heart she knew she and Mel wanted different things in a relationship. She wanted more commitment, and Mel said he wasn't ready to commit so soon in their relationship. And really, Mel didn't give Cindy much to work with as he admitted more in his confessionals than he actually admitted to Cindy in person. So it feels like Cindy left when she left because Mel wasn't giving her anything to work off of, and really it seemed like Mel was mentally with Peg, especially after Fantasy Suites, but he claims he wanted to see it through with Cindy. But Cindy and Mel do meet up in the studio, and there does seem to be some leftover tension between these two as Mel tells Cindy that she basically gave up and she didn't see it through, which is interesting to say the least. But Cindy is strong in how she handles herself as Jesse Palmer compliments her on her elegance and poise. Cindy does have the support of the crowd and the support of her family as Cindy says a final farewell to Mel. With the dramatic ending to Mel and Cindy's relationship, Mel now has come to the realization that Peg is the one for him. It seems like he has always been into Peg, and he heads over and lets Peg know what happened with Cindy and lets her know that even though she is the last woman here, Mel ensures her that she did not just win by default. And with Fantasy Suites officially over, it's time for Peg to meet Mel's two sons, Andre and Lucas, as well as Mel's college friend Diane. And things are going well as Peg is the only woman there to meet Mel's family, and really everyone loves Peg, as her positive energy has won everyone over. But it was interesting to see Mel with his two sons and his lawyer friend Diane, as they help make sense of Mel's behavior and categorize him as very analytical. And this is when the show reminds us that Mel is actually a lawyer and not just a retired NFL player. At the end of the family meeting, Peg has won everyone over, and what is important too is that Mel and Peg are on the same page with how they want the relationship to play out. So when it's decision day, Peg heads over and meets up with Mel on a sandbar, and these two profess their love for each other, and Mel gives Peg a commitment ring and gives her the last golden rose. And it's a happily ever after for Mel and Peg, as this ending was very exciting to witness. These two even admit that they can be hard to be with, but together they work and they are excited about what the future holds. Back in the studio, host Jesse Palmer introduces Mel and Peg out in public for the first time. Jesse presses them on their future, but they are elusive in their answers on their desire to actually get married, but they do say that they are happy where they are in their relationship as they are supported by both their families and plan to stay together, even sharing in the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast that they have so many plans to travel and spend the holidays together. And with another ending of a Bachelor Nation season, Mel technically may be in the boomer generation, but really it was the silent generation, as Mel didn't really share his feelings for the women this season and kept pretty quiet about his true feelings even up into the last moments of this show. And that's it for the Fantasy Suites episode and the finale of the Golden Bachelor season 2. Thank you for watching Whitney Alex Works recaps. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe here for more Bachelor Nation recaps in the future. Thanks for tuning in.